Hi Sequels friends, it is the first Friday in March and you know what that means. It is time to go over what sold in February. So if you want to know what sold on Poshmark, eBay, and Etsy for a part-time reseller, then you will definitely want to keep on watching. Hi Sequels friends, welcome back to my channel. I so appreciate each and every one of you being here. Now if you're new, my name is Heather and I am a part-time reseller on Poshmark, eBay, and Etsy, and I use this YouTube channel to document my journey. So as I said in the intro, today we are talking about what sold in February. And I have to tell you already up front from the get-go, my sales were not as good as they were in January. But in all fairness, my sales in January were freaking phenomenal. So I was kind of anticipating taking a little bit of a hit in February, but I really didn't want to. Overall, let's talk about the numbers to begin with, and I'm going to keep looking down here because I have my laptop in front of me. And you will notice some of my charts and things are going to look slightly different than they have in the past. I have always created these videos as sales came in and then created my charts and stuff that I put up here. But I have finally gotten smart, and it has been one of my goals for 2020 to update my spreadsheets. So I'm trying to make it so that my spreadsheet tallies all this stuff for me every month, so that when I make this video, all I have to do is pull that chart instead of pulling all the sales. Also, I'm hoping that's going to help me because it's going to give me much better how things are moving on a daily basis so that I can react to what's going on. So as of right now, I'm in the process of transitioning, so I just want to let you know that my charts and stuff will look a little bit different than normal. So overall, February sales came in at $1,230.55. Now those are gross sales. Once you take out platform fees, cost of goods, any shipping discounts and the like, my total came to $884.48. That was a 28% decrease from last month where I made $1,235 net. Overall, I sold 60 units in February versus the 73 in January for an 18% decrease. It stands to reason I would sell less units since I made less dollars. My ROI is tipping up, which is great. In February, it came at 72% versus an ROI of 70% for January. To me, that is just insane to think that you make 70% take home on everything. I don't know, it's just crazy to me. I do know that I get some crazy deals sourcing, and I think that that helps keep that ROI up. And another positive aspect, just like the ROI, which you would stand to reason because the ROI is higher, my average sale price is slowly still again tipping up at $14.74 versus $14.56 for January. Not huge numbers, not super exciting. You know, I've had a goal forever to get my average sale price over $20, and I am trying, but it is just not getting there yet. I really think I need to be a bit more mindful about my sourcing, especially in the bins. Things are so dirt cheap that I don't mind grabbing things that I know are gonna go out the door in the 10 to 15 range, and it might be time to consider whether or not I still wanna do that. Or I may want to wait until I hit my inventory goal and then make that decision. I don't know, something for me to keep in the back of my head. Today I'm going to share with you the best and the worst. And instead of just picking random best and random worst, this time I said I'm going to share with you, because I'm still a little hesitant to share every single item given that I sold 60 items and it's going to be hard for me not to talk about them. And then this video is going to be forever long, and I'm guessing all you guys aren't going to want to sit through a 45-minute video. So I figured this time I would pick the ones that made over $20 because that is my goal. Those are more of the type of things I need to be very conscious about when I'm outsourcing, grabbing those kind of goods. And then I figured for the worst, I'll tell you everything that made me $5 or less. Pretty shitty. But you know, sometimes you got to move goods, and sometimes it's better to at least move them and make $5 than to not make anything at all. But here we go. So I don't have these in any particular order besides to say that they made me more than 20 bucks. Actually, in reality, they're in the order that they sold per that month because I'm just reading down my spreadsheet. So first up is this vintage 2000 New York Yankees Adidas long sleeve tee. If you've been watching me for any time, you may recognize this tee as I got it in a Goodwill Y2K box that I was none too excited about, but come to figure out some of those items have been moving pretty well. This item ended up selling for $30.20 on Etsy. Yes, on Etsy. You'll see I had 3 Etsy sales, or 2 Etsy sales. One of them just happened today and it's March. So this ended up selling on Etsy for $30.20. After Etsy platform fees and shipping fees, I ended up netting $21.11. To me, pretty darn exciting on a t-shirt. Next up were these Wrangler 1990s jeans. Everybody's been talking about how these vintage Wranglers really move for them. I've seen them go anywhere from 20 bucks up to 50 bucks, but I haven't really been seeing them sell in that 50 buck range. I see most of them sell around the $30 range. I had mine listed for a little bit at $39, but I did take an offer. We bartered back and forth on Poshmark for a while. I ended up selling them to her for $32, and after cost of goods, which cost me $4.80, I ended up making $20.80. Still not a bad buy and a good thing to get me over that $20 range. These 9 West loafers, sold these on Poshmark. I ended up picking up these, I believe, at Salvation Army, if I remember correct. Nope, it must have been Goodwill because they were $4.19. I picked these up at Goodwill. I sold them after sending an offer to the liker for $39, and after fees I ended up making $24.89. I'm pretty excited about that. I did not realize that 9 West has such a good following. I have sold a handful of 9 West shoes. Their handbags don't look like they go for that much, but the shoes do look like they're moving, so it may be something you want to be on the lookout for. Next up, an eBay sale and another vintage sale. This is a vintage 90s Hobo International crossbody. I did get this at Salvation Army and I did sell it for $30.88. I did take an offer from a watcher and I ended up netting $23.47 on it. And the reason why I took that offer was I nabbed this baby up for just $2. So I knew I would still make over $20, which was my goal. These shoes have been sitting since the summer. I got them in a thread up shoe box, and they retail for a phenomenal amount of money. They are Todd's driving shoes. I think they retail for over $500, but as with most high-end goods, I do not see a very good resale value there. I started them out, I think, at $124, ended up lowering them to a $99 as I was 6 months in on them sitting in my inventory. And I took an offer and bartered back and forth for quite a bit amount of time on it and ended up taking an offer that was lower than my lowest goal of $69. But as they've been sitting for so long, I took the offer, which ended up being $57.72 total. And after fees and shipping, I made $44 on them. So if you've sold this brand before, let me know. I'd be really curious to know if this is an average sale price, but also they were size 7.5, so it seems like a good size. And I just think maybe the resale value isn't there. I mean, how many people buy driving shoes to begin with anyways? I don't know, I don't live this life. But I'd be curious to know. So let me know in the comment section below. This was a great bin's find that my binge shopping partner ended up picking up and finding for me. When we were binge shopping, there was a whole bin of new with tags dresses and dresses that they had recently, all of it was stuff they had recently pulled off the Goodwill floor. And it was just a huge bin full of them, and I nabbed up so many dresses that day. This was a new with tags Blue Island beautiful maxi dress. It ended up selling for full price on eBay. Oh my God, selling for full price seems miraculous to me. And I ended up netting $25.07 after fees and shipping. Here's another Hobo International bag. I tell you what, these Hobo International bags didn't take long to move at all. I I just want to mention that other one above sold within 6 days, and this puppy right here sold, where'd I go? Sold within about 9 days. So this Hobo International is definitely a brand to be on the lookout for. Not a brand I was super duper familiar with. I have seen a couple of resellers say that this brand sells for them. I ended up picking up the original bag because it was just $2. I ended up picking up this bag shortly after because and I'm just trying to go back to look to confirm I'm not making up stories. Yeah, the last one sold on the 5th, and then I went to Salvation Army on the 6th and picked up this one. So this one ended up selling, which was a newer style. It wasn't vintage, and it ended up selling for $37.92, and I ended up making $22.62 after cost of goods. Chaco sandals. I am surprised that these took a little bit to sell. I got them in a ThredUp box as well. Now it is in the last ThredUp box I got, which was in October. So it stands to reason they didn't move so quickly because it was winter months, although Lord knows there's plenty of people who live in areas in the United States where it is warm all throughout December. Hello, my Floridians. I think part of the reason this didn't sell was I didn't think they had a size on them. Then I was watching somebody's video. Oh, I'm not 100% sure. I want to say it was the Bearded Thrifter, if that his name. I'll link him above. I think that's who it was. I don't know for sure. But I was watching a video and they pulled out a Chaco and said that the size is listed on the back of it. And I didn't realize it was listed on the back sole. So sure enough, I go into my inventory, pull them out. I suspected they were a size 10 because they fit my big ass foot, but that confirmed they were a size 10. I then updated the listing so it didn't say estimating and it just said size 10. And then they ended up being bought just a few days later. I took an offer because I had sat on them for a while. I ended up making $29.37. I have made more on Chacos in the past. I may have been able to make more on these if I would have held out a little bit longer. Definitely a great brand and definitely a great one to pick up in the wild. This sale right here blew my mind, and it definitely is a testament to why, if you're not already doing it, you should consider cross-listing your vintage on Etsy. This is a new with tags, dead stock, Karen Kane ruffle blouse. I thought it is totally 80s, totally 90s. I believe it was 80s based on the tag. Just that ruffle, it reminds me of a beautiful burgundy silky version of the ever so lovely Seinfeld pirate shirt. Just those ruffles galore that were so popular in the late 80s and early 90s. This was dead stock, still had the tags on it. Got it in a little thrift little no-name family-owned thrift store that is outside of town. So I only paid $2.60 for it, and I ended up selling it on Etsy for $37.49. I do offer free shipping on Etsy because it does help you in the algorithm, and I ended up netting $30.51 on this $2.60 purchase. I would do this all freaking day long. This is amazing to me. Again, it is a really beautiful style that is definitely having its comeback now. But I was quite surprised and very, very pleased with that sale. This sale you guys will recognize if you just saw my ThredUp scarf box, you know, and you've been watching me for any sort of time, you know I love ThredUp scarves. They are a great, great add-on item, and the boxes cost next to nothing to buy. This Lululemon scarf was in that purchase, or was in that box, and I ended up selling it just within 2 days of listing, which means I probably could have gotten some more money for it because it sold for full asking price, and I ended up netting it sold not for full asking price. I did send an offer, but not a shipping discount, and it ended up selling for, or I ended up netting $20.56. Next up, this is another one I think I could have made some more money on, but it came from my personal jewelry box, so there's no cost of goods, and I've had it for probably 15, I think 15 plus years, and I just do not wear it. Somebody gifted it to me. I love it. It's so beautiful, and it's hard for me to get rid of things that people gift to me, but it is just not something that I personally wear. And it is this beautiful rainbow cubic zirconia 925 sterling silver bracelet and ring set. It ended up selling within a month of listing, and I took an offer of $39. I had it listed for $49. It definitely is worth more than that. And I ended up netting $28.74 of pretty much pure profit there, since it came out of my closet or jewelry box. And then last up is, I don't even know how to say it. It's Boss Stitch. It is a compressor, an air compressor. This is part of a series or a video that I'm gonna have upcoming in the future. It is me going around my own house looking for things to list to see what I can sell of shit that I'm not using around the house. I've done this plenty of times as being a reseller for over a year plus now. But this one particular item, I have that it has no cost of goods, but technically it does. I paid for this on Amazon. I bought it for our business, and it ended up not being something we can use. It's been way too long that we've had it, and so it couldn't be returned. And I usually calculate anything that's been in my house for more than 6 months as having a zero cost. But I did ended up putting it on Facebook Marketplace only because I didn't want to ship it. It's like pretty big. And I ended up I had it up for $100, and I ended up, which was, I think I spent $99 on it. And I ended up taking an offer for $80 just to see it go away, because everybody kept offering me $60 or $70 for it. You can only buy it 2 places for $100 It's usually $150, but nobody was buying that strategy. They just kept saying, oh, well, I'll go buy it from there for $100. So I just took an offer of $80, which was higher than the $60 and $70 I'd been getting, and ended up selling that item. I am not going to post a video on that until I sell through a decent amount, probably my typical 50% of everything that I pulled for that little challenge. But be on the lookout for that video. And if you don't already, you'll definitely want to hit the subscribe button to make sure and ring that bell to make sure you're notified when that video does come along. Oh, before we go into this stinkers, one other thing. I thought it was worthy to note that of the 12 items that netted over $20, 3 of them were vintage items. So I think that's a nice reminder that going into the vintage avenue is a great direction to go in. People are looking for these things, and they are special things. They're not just basic mall brands. They're not just things that you can find at your own thrift store necessarily if you are a thrifter yourself. So I think it's a very worthwhile category to continue to explore. Okay, I guess my new spreadsheet is really throwing me for a loop because I missed 3 items that sold for over $20, and I wanted to share them with you. First up is this Madewell gray lace dress. I've had this, I got it in a thredUP box all the way back in April of 2020. I have not really had much interest in it, so when somebody decided to get it at an offered price, I took them up on the offer. I sold it for $29, ended up netting $20.59. Another pair of Nine West shoes here. These are the Nine West Vein, and oh my god, are they not so cool. Platform booties. They were a size 8.5. I had them listed for $59. I took an offer of $45 and ended up netting $31.31, and these were a Goodwill find. Great condition. And the last sale that I want to share with you is this vintage 1980s Danny and Nicole houndstooth pantsuit set. This is something, again, vintage, and it netted me over $20. And this is something that I listed for a higher price, around $44. Again, that blouse sold for $39, so I thought it was realistic to list this one at $44. Well, I had an eBay customer who just kept lowballing me an offer on this, to the point that I was like, don't I have lowball turned off on this? And it was starting to upset me, but I remember I saw a recent reseller on a video say, sometimes you just got to let some things go for less than you want because it will encourage sales on eBay. So I went over to my spreadsheet and realized that I had spent 99 cents on this. 99 cents on a deal day at Salvation Army. So we ended up agreeing on a price of $30 all in, and I ended up netting $20.40 after shipping and eBay fees. Now, onto the stinkers. Now, I do want to say I have 6 stinkers for you, and 4 of them were marked already direct as clearance items. And you'll see why, and you'll recognize some as stinkers that came in boxes. The first one up is this Cookie Lee seed bead necklace. It came in one of my Goodwill jewelry boxes. When I did comps on it, it is not worth anything. I think I had it, I ended up putting this one on sale. It sold for $4.94 and I ended up making $1.24. This is, again, goes back to those things. Is it worth it for me to list? Now, I do just list clearance on eBay only, but it becomes, was it worth it to list or should I donate it back? Here's another one. This is a bad buy. This is a Heather bad buy. I was having just a hell of a good sourcing trip at this Salvation Army, and as I was at the register and she was ringing things up, I saw this really cute red belt and I nabbed it because I had so much vintage success there, only to get home and really start to look at it and realize it's not vintage, it's fairly cheap. And not only is it fairly cheap, it's the cheapest of the cheap because it is that brand Shein? I don't know how the fuck you say it. I am not a big fan of their stuff. I do have several other things to sell because I have purchased from them on 2 occasions, and I find that I like my clothes until I start wearing them and then they're ugh. So I know they sell this stuff for next to nothing. I figured out that they sell this belt for $5. Somebody offered me $5 free shipping for it. I took it and made $1.30. At least I didn't lose money on it. Here's a random Ipsy bag bundle that I've had since fall. I don't use all these little bags, and so I just put them up for sale every once in a while, and I really don't care if I make any money on them. I just want to find a home for them for somebody who wants them because I don't want them. So I ended up selling these for $3 on Poshmark and netting $2.55. This is another jewelry piece. It is another item that went straight to clearance. It had a lot of tarnishing on it. The bracelet was overly stretched out. I took an offer including shipping for $6.60 and ended up netting $2.68 on this. This ASOS black dress, oh, I just do not understand ASOS at all. This one I put directly on clearance because I've bought some ASOS before. One of the items have sold. The other ones I had to clearance them to get them to move. So this one I put directly to clearance. They ended up buying it for the asking price of $6. But once you accounted for the shipping and the $3 just about that it cost me in that thread up box to get, I ended up making $1.33. The only reason why I say I think that this one I could have actually gotten more money for is because it ended up selling in just 5 days. So it makes me think that maybe I should have listed it at like $10. Say it was worth $19.99 and clearanced it at $10 or something of the like to just get a little bit more money out of that. And then last but not least is this damn Joneswear black dress. I had a friend give this to me. Not this past Christmas, I'm pretty sure it was the Christmas before. It was back when I was accepting all sorts of bags from people because they all learned that I just started this reselling thing. This is such a cute dress, I love it, but it just would not move. I've had it listed since January of 2020. I've sent offers to likers. It's just not moving. So I just keep lowering and lowering the clearance price. And basically I'm to the point where as long as I don't lose any money on it, I'm fine. And I ended up selling it for $8.37. And after shipping, it ended up making me just $3.10. So again, didn't lose any money, but not really worth the time. Now, as I said, these charts are going to look a little bit different and they are still in the works, as it is something that I'm trying to build directly into my spreadsheet instead of pulling for you guys once a month. But here is the breakdown by units of what sold in February, and I want to bring to your attention that dresses are selling, home goods are selling, jewelry is selling, sweaters, and tops. But I think it's great to notice that dresses are selling. I hear a lot of people say that they don't have a lot of success with dresses, but I'm really surprised to see that I do. But a new thing that I'm doing is also I'm having my inventory spreadsheet pull to show me by category what I have in inventory. I'm going to pop this up here for you because I think that it's really important to look at what am I sourcing and how is my inventory by category versus how am I selling by category. And I think that that's really interesting to note because I have a cheat sheet here, because I made this month 13% of my total sales on dresses, and I currently have about 10% of my total inventory on dresses. Not too shabby. For home, it's 12, but I only have 9% of my current inventory in home, which stands to reason. If my inventory was closer to my sales, would I be making more in that category? So I've gone ahead and nabbed me up a bulk box to see as a quick way of sticking a bunch of home things into that category. Jewelry, I'm making 12% of the sales on 15% of the inventory, so we're fine there. But here's another interesting one. I did 12% of the sales in sweaters on just 6% of the inventory. That's one that I'm starting to wonder if I need to be sourcing more sweaters. Now, I know we're kind of coming out of the season and into spring, but it still might be worth it for me to go ahead and pick up sweaters as I see them, since I know that I'm undersourced in inventory on them, to ensure that by the time fall comes around, I will not be undersourced in inventory on them. Also, it may be a great bin spine given that people will be going through their warm wear very soon and donating it. And then lastly, tops. I sold 20% of my tops on 17% of the inventory. Not too shabby, but I may need to keep my eye out for even more tops, which seems weird to me because tops is such a huge category for me already. Let's talk about platform. Again, I just have unit sales versus dollar sales, so it's not going to be 100% complete, but I did think it was worthwhile to note. I had 43% of my units were sold on Poshmark, 52% of them were on eBay, 3% of them were on Etsy because I had those 2 Etsy sales, and 1 was on Poshmark because of that compressor sale. So that's where February came in at. Again, not exactly where I wanted it to be, but not too shabby for a part-timer either. So I'm sure this video is getting long enough, so I'm going to cut it off here. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you found this video helpful or useful in any way, please do go ahead, hit that thumbs up button. And if you enjoy my content and you've been poking around here and peeking in and watching for more than a minute and really enjoying my content and you haven't done it yet, please do go ahead, hit that subscribe button and ring-a-ling-ling that bell so that you're notified every Tuesday and Friday when I upload a new video. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I will see you on Tuesday with a new How To Tuesday video. Have a fantastic weekend, guys. Bye-bye.